Hi, grades 3. This is Miss David. Today is Wednesday, April the 21st, and we are looking at our math lesson. It is still review 5, and today we will be completing questions 7, 8, and 9. And after that, you will be moving on to your mental math 16. Okay, and the reason I have the board set this way because I'm trying to fix the problem of the words keep or the numbers keep flipping. So that's why I'm recording with my laptop. So therefore I just have my screen set straight to the whiteboard. I am no longer recording with my cell phone. Okay, because when we had cell phone, it was easy for me to shift it from myself to the board. But because I'm using my laptop, so we're just going to stick to this screen until I get my cell phone situation sorted out and we can record with me in the video. Okay, so let's get started. Today we are looking at, I'm looking at page 104 of your workbook, and we are looking at question 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so it is page 104 in your workbooks. Okay, so let's get started. The first question we have to do is, it says, Jim jogged, and so let's read it together. So I'm reading this one. Jim jogged 3 kilometers and 600 meter. Mary jogged 2 kilometers and 800 meter. Who jogged a longer distance? How much longer? Okay, so let's go ahead, and because we are finding the difference, what do we usually do when we have to find the difference? That's right, we subtract, right? Difference means we are subtracting, so which means, first we write, so 3 km, what does 3 km mean? It means 3,000, right? So it means 3,000. And what are we subtracting out of? So, sorry, I completely forgot to write my whole thing. So it is 3 km and 600. And we need to take away 2 km and 800, right? 800 meter. So this is meter and meter. 3 means 3,000, right? So 3,600, and we are subtracting 2,800, right? So let's get started. We have to subtract 0, take away 0, gives me 0, 0 take away 0, gives me 0. If you have 6 cookies, you cannot give me 8, so I'm going to borrow. So 16, this becomes a 2. So 16 take away 8 leaves me with 8 only. And 2 take away 2 gives me 0. So what's the difference? 800 meters, right? And we are going to finish it with our sentence, he jogged. So he jogged 800 meters farther. There we go. Okay, so this is our question 7. That had to do with, and it had to do with subtraction. Okay, my video paused for a minute. Okay, let's go to our question 8. Okay, so what is question 8 all about? Let's have a look. Question 8 says, 4 people bought a birthday present for their friend. They paid the cashier 100 and received 48 change. If they shared the cost equally, how much did each person pay? So we know there are 4 people. We know they gave $100 to the cashier, right? So that means we need to divide up $100 between 4 people, right? But first we need to find the difference. Well, how much did they get back? Before we even find out how much did they pay, need to find out. So they paid the cashier how much? So they paid $100. So this is a two-step problem. So first step is, this is question 8, and first step is $100. So they gave $100 to the cashier, and he gave them back $48. So we are going to subtract. We're going to find out, well, how much was the present first of all. So we're going to subtract what they gave and what they got back. So we have $100 and the cashier gave us back 48. So let's subtract it. I borrow, then I borrow again. So I'm left with 9 here. I'm left with nothing here. So 10 take away 8 gives me 2. And 9 take away 4 gives me 5. So that means this was the price of the present. That means they all, 4 people combined, they paid this much. Well, we need to find out. Okay, so this was first problem, first part. The second part is, so we found out that 52 was the cost of the present. So the second part of the problem would be 52 divided into 4. So let's go ahead, and part 2 of the problem would be, so 52 divided into 4, because there are 4 friends and the price was 52, right? So let's go ahead, and 4 times, how many 4s would give me something closer to 5, because we would never see 5 in 4 times table, right? So the closest we can do is only 1 4 would fit into 5, right? So 4 times 1 gives me 4. Then I do the subtraction. I am left with 1. Okay, so I'm left with 1. 4 times 1. Okay, I'm going to erase the top part. Okay, so grades 3, I'm about to erase the top part. If you were not able to copy it, pause the video and copy it. I just don't want you to get confused by the numbers getting mixed up. Okay, this division part is part 2 of the problem. So I'm going to erase it. And we are dividing. I'll show you properly here. So this is part 2 of the problem. So 52 was the cost, right, of the present. And there were how many friends? 4 friends. And we found out we can only fit 1 4 into this 5, right? Then we multiply. 4 times 1 gives me 4. Then I do the subtraction. I am left with 1. Then I bring my 2 down, right? Now I go to my 4 times table again, and I look at, well, what number do I see 12 in 4 times table? And if I do, how many 4s give me 12? So there are, so 4 times 3 gives me 12, right? So 3 times 4, or 4 times 3, it gives me 12. I am left with nothing, okay? So how much did each person pay? Each person paid $13. Okay, now we are done question 8. Okay, let's go and look at question 9 and grades 3 again. If you think I am moving too fast, or if you are not done copying this, please pause the video and then you can move on. And I would encourage you as well that when I start if I start to divide or if I start to subtract, you can pause the video quickly, do the math for yourself first, and then you can unpause and see the video all the way to the end so that you can see if you got it right or not. Okay, so let's look at question 9. Mrs. Johnson bought 8 boxes of cookies for a party. There were 12 cookies in each box. After the party, there were 28 cookies left. How many cookies were eaten at the party? Okay, so this is the question. And again, this will also be a two-part problem. Okay, so we know that how many boxes were there? There were 8 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? There were 8 boxes of cookies. There were 12 cookies in each box. So 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, and 12. So how many boxes were there? 8 boxes. Each box had 12 cookies. Now we can go ahead and add each one of these, or we can simply multiply 8 times 12, right? We can stack up our numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead. 8 times 2 gives me 16. I carry my 1 over. And grade 3, this would be a good time to pause the video and do the math. Then you can unpause the video and you can see whether you got it correct or not. Okay, 8 times 1 gives me 8 plus 1, 9. So how many cookies were there in all of these boxes? There were 96 cookies. Now the question is, there were 28 cookies left. How many cookies were eaten at the party? What do you think we need to do? So if we know that there were 96 cookies all together, 28 were left. So what do we need to do? We need to, of course, find the difference. How do we find the difference? We subtract. So this is part 2 of the problem. This was part 1 where we multiplied to find the number of cookies. Now we need to subtract. So all the cookies and the cookies that were left over. There were 28 cookies left over, right? So let's go ahead. I cannot do this one, so I'm going to borrow. This will be 8. This will be 16. So 16 take away 8 gives me 8. And 8 take away 2 leaves me with 6. So how many cookies were eaten at the party? 68 cookies were eaten at the party. There we go. Okay, so that is our work in the workbook for today, Wednesday, April the 21st. Once you're done this grades 3, I would like you to move to your mental math 16, and I will see you for our next page tomorrow morning. Okay, good luck.